Most people who watch Classroom of the Elite walk away with the same conclusion. Ayanokoji Kiyotaka is a genius. A perfect, cold, calculating machine who never loses, never struggles, and always has a plan 10 steps ahead of everyone else. But what if that's not actually true? What if the version of Ayanokoji most fans believe in is one he deliberately constructed for you to believe? Today we're going to break down what Ayanokoji actually is and what he isn't. Let's start with what most fans believe. The popular image of Ayanokoji is someone who is essentially flawless. Fans call him a 1000 IQ tactician, an emotionless god who treats everyone around him as a chess piece, and someone who has never truly been in danger of losing. And look, that reading isn't entirely wrong. He is extraordinarily intelligent. He is manipulative by design, and he does win most confrontations. But here's where it gets interesting. The myth of Ayanokoji being a perfect being, that's something he actively wants you to believe. And the fact that fans buy into it so completely is actually evidence of how good he is at manipulation, not evidence that he's infallible. To understand Ayanokoji, you have to understand where he came from. The White Room, a facility run by his father designed to produce the perfect human being through extreme psychological and physical conditioning from childhood. And what did that produce? Not a genius in the traditional sense. What it produced was someone with an almost superhuman ability to read people, suppress emotion, and calculate outcomes. But with one critical flaw that most fans completely overlook. Ayanokoji doesn't actually understand human connection. For most of Season 1 and into Season 2, his strategies work because he treats people like variables in an equation. But the moments where he struggles, and he does struggle, are almost always when someone behaves in a way that's fundamentally human. Unpredictable, emotional, irrational. Raiwan didn't almost expose him because Raiwan was smarter. He almost exposed him because Raiwan was willing to be brutal in ways Ayanokoji hadn't fully calculated for. That's not the behavior of an infallible genius. That's someone adapting in real time. Now let's talk about his actual limitations. Because they're real and they matter. First, he requires information. Ayanokoji's plans depend heavily on having data about the people he's dealing with. When he faces someone new or someone who operates outside normal patterns, his initial reads can be off. He course corrects fast, but the gap is there. Second, he underestimates emotional variables. Horikita, Kushida, even Ichinose, characters driven by deep personal emotions, have forced him to recalculate more than once. His White Room training optimized him for logic, not empathy. Third, and this is the big one, he is deliberately sandbagging. Ayanokoji is not trying to reach Class A as fast as possible. He is deliberately operating below his ceiling to avoid drawing attention, and to conduct what he essentially treats as a long-term social experiment. This means almost every victory we see from him is a controlled performance, which raises a genuinely interesting question. If he ever had to operate at full capacity against someone equally intelligent who also had nothing to hide? We haven't really seen that yet, and that uncertainty is what makes him compelling rather than just an unbeatable power fantasy. So, is Ayanokoji actually a genius? Yes, but not in the way most fans think. He's not a genius because he's perfect. He's a genius because he has mastered the art of making everyone around him, including the audience, see exactly what he wants them to see. The 1000 IQ God image? That's his greatest manipulation. And the fact that most of the fanbase bought it completely is, ironically, the best proof of how good he actually is. What makes Ayanokoji genuinely fascinating isn't that he never struggles. It's that even when he does, he's already decided what he's willing to lose. And why. That's not omniscience. That's something more interesting. That's mastery of priority. And if you ask me, that's a far more compelling character than a flawless chess machine would ever be. If you found this breakdown interesting, the next video is going to go even deeper. We'll be looking at whether Ayanokoji's White Room training is actually his greatest strength, or his most dangerous blind spot? If that sounds like something you want to see, subscribe so you don't miss it. And drop your take in the comments. Do you think Ayanokoji has a ceiling, or is he still holding back more than we've seen? I'll see you in the next one.